Carry in, my good friend. Oh, hey there. Want something? Just a chat. Care to share some rumors? Rumors? Oh yeah, I've already had that one actually. Why do you have such a weird name? Yeah, like I was saying before, Kirov, Trudograd, Murmansk, Slentsgrad, fortified like huge castles, these cities. So they're all Eastern European, not like Western European or anything like that. So, and he's like a far traveler as well. It's understandable that obviously people don't travel anywhere near as much as they used to. Can I talk to you about... I suggest you get rid of the goods surplus for a reduced price, obviously. Damn it. No, it doesn't look like I can make him join my place as a cook, unfortunately. Where's that guy's car then? Oh, that guy still hasn't moved. And I can... I can't really trade stuff with them actually because I've not got any stuff on me still. And where are those guys? They said they had a car. Is it parked inside? No, not that I can see. Right, let's report those red bandits through to this guy real quick. Nope, it must have been you. I dealt with your gangster problem. No way, you mean the gang of Senya the Ear Cutter? That's impossible. You'd think so. I met them not far from Paragon, red scarves on their faces. Angry guys they were. Yeah, true. Yeah, this thug's gang wore red scarves, so you're saying you finished them? Wonderful, one problem less. And this is the note I found on the body of one of them, the leader I guess. Show them the mysterious instruction. You hand the note to the official who studies it curiously. Even his colleague rises on his chair with a look of utter worry on his face. Yeah, this is quite a thing to find. Thank you so much. This note leads to a certain thought. The man hides the instruction in his desk. You've done a great favour to Paragon, more important even than you think. What is it? I'm afraid I can't tell you. Suffice to say, it tackles the political intrigues in the Wasteland, if you get me. Glad to hear that. Let's talk about my reward. Yes, of course. So, for the extermination of the vicious gang of the so-called Sanya the Ear Cutter, we owe you a reward equal to 600 rubles, after tax, of course. Look, man, this is way too little. Add some more, will ya? Okay, agreed. Here, 100. I can't give you any more without breaking the rules. The mustache man gives you a thick envelope with money. Payment in envelope. So nothing else then. Oakley dokley. Alright, let's check for these guys real quick. I'm hoping one of them has more special bullets for that special pistol. Right, I'm going to go to a Tradno next in my nice little car, and we'll get on to go doing the political stuff. I'm wondering whether, I don't know whether I can change. I want to make at least Katya the guy. I don't want the, you know, the pain in the ass sort of obsessed. I think it was that like lick-spittle obsessed with communism guy. I'm not 100%, but I'm fairly sure. That was the one he wants to... That's the one that Dan wants to put into power. But I would at least want Katya in power. I don't really want to mess around with it, but I mean, Katya make a pretty good leader, I guess. Taking my car straight into town. Two large men are chatting about something near the large oak in the middle of Otradno. Passers-by are careful to avoid them. You remember seeing both these men at the factory. When they notice you, the main man in green hat speaks. Hey, Dan sent us to help in case some of the folks don't want to vote. I don't need that kind of help. The other one speaks up. He's a shifty-looking character without any hipwear. Isn't it a little too early to assume things? That's right, you never know when you might need a strong hand. Why wait for them to choose? Just ask and I'll speed things up a bit. I use my two best arguments, the left as well as the right. They're just the same as my invitations. Now go stirring up trouble, we don't need to fight in the middle of the village. Cutthroats glance at one another and nod. Let's ask for your help with something. Nothing. Gankin's a pretty bad candidate, you should vote for Katya. Ahmed. Before you stands Ahmed, a strongly built tan man in sunburnt in a sunburnt shirt and worker pants. His strict face is adorned with a large black mustache. Katya must win this election. Yeah, I better go. Wait, can I advise him to speak to him? I don't want to, but no. I feel like having a stroll. It's elections already? No, why are you waking me up? That's pretty good that she's actually got like speech program for that. Ivan Ivanovich is discussing something with his bodyguard. Seeing you, he livens up at once and claps his hands. There you are. Splendid. Listen, one of the candidates, the local supply and maintenance manager Grankin, has already had a necessary political talk with the villagers. Kovalev has withdrawn from the race and has lost touch with reality. Now all we need to do is play our cards right and we've done it. Play our cards, how's that? Most people are ready for the election. Everyone will vote for one of the designated candidates. Some fishermen wanted to run, but it was explained to him that only permanent village dwellers can take part. In other words, everything's going to be ahem legal. Right, and who are our candidates apart from Comrade Grankin? Ivan Ivanovich smooths out his collar and speaks in a low voice. Apart from Grankin, Katya Rodchenko, a local pub owner, volunteered to run in the elections. Denis Denisovich foresaw this. It won't be a problem. He lowers his voice even more, almost to a whisper. Grankin thinks victory is already his, but this may not be the case. I'll put it bluntly. Let you and I decide the village's fate right now. Who should we support? I believe you, as the factory representative, had the right to decide. God damn it, I have to choose now. Can't I just like leave this? I think Grankin's this guy, right? He's not the, like, they say maintenance engineer, don't they? A maintenance manager, but it's not him. That's, I can't remember his name, but I want Katya to win it at least. I think Katya should win. After all, she represents fresh blood and new ideas. Ivan Ivanovich casts a quick glance at Grankin, who's sweating buckets, and nods. I see. New ideas are good, of course. The lack of any kind of experience and a hot temper, not so much. However, with Denis Denisovich by her side, I'm sure she will implement beneficial policies for the village. In that case, you might be interested to learn that there are two people in the village who are dead set against her candidacy. First is the wife of the treasury guardsman, a resourceful woman with a wide stern face. I think her name is Karina. She's also set her husband against Katya and is muddying the waters for everyone. Second, there's Grankin himself. Someone should point out to him that he's in the wrong. An official needs to educate him about politics, if you will. You won't have to search him out, he's close by. You should also find this Karina and convince her to change her mind. Is that all the opposition? The rest are either indifferent or will vote with the majority. But there's one more thing. And what is it? The man slicks back his receding hair and moves closer to you. The elections have to go smooth as silk, by which I mean 100% turnout, like it was in the USSR, may it rest in peace. But the problem is 2 men in the village refuse to vote. Worse, their recalcitrance is confusing the other villagers. One is the so-called Grandpa Simon, who doesn't want to vote for Grankin out of principle, and according to him, doesn't want to place this cross on Katya. The other is Guardsman Jan, who decided that democracy gives him the right to abstain. These two troublemakers need to be brought into line. Why not just leave them alone? If they don't want to vote, so be it. No, these are Otradno's first elections after all. We need pretty statistics. Besides, the villagers are unsure about what they want to do right now, even though all we're asking is that they vote. Everything has to be perfect. I tried to convince them. I'm glad to hear it. I do love administrative work. You call this administrative work? That's your car? Pfft. Lame. Have you seen my shiny number over here? Don't be getting any ideas now, official. Alright, let's speak to the old man. That's the postman, right? No. Is that the old man? Kovalev? Oh yeah. The former head of the village, Kovalev, sits at the table in the tavern. He's holding a glass of some kind of spirit. The old man's staring down into the murky liquid. How are you, Comrade Kovalev? The man lifts his heavy gaze and sighs. Everything is fine. I'm actually glad things turned out this way. It's time for the village to pick a new leader. He was talking about it a little bit earlier. I don't know, I think you did good. You think so? I hope you're right. Everything I did was for the prosperity of this village. Yes, well, now it's a retirement for me. I think I'll start a garden. Don't fret, Kovalev. Life isn't all that depressing. The man nods and suddenly perks up. I'm not scared or sad. I'm just doing some introspection. I thought retirement was going to kill me, but I have peace instead. Run along now. You must have a lot to do. But this old man has all the time in the world now. Keep your chin up, Comrade Kovalev. You've served long enough, dude. Right, so Katya. Before you stands Katya Radchenko, the local tavern proprietor. You hardly recognize her, dressed in clean clothes and wearing makeup. She's clearly tried very hard to make an impression, and it actually worked. Upon seeing you, she smiles warmly and invites you to come over. Oh, hello. I've been thinking about the election here. Pretty sad that Father had to resign, but I think he's personally okay with it. What are your chances of winning? Same as Grankin's, but that's up to the village to decide. That's truth in your words. Wait, what do you think? Will I win in the election? Sure, I have no doubt. The girl giggles and looks shyly at the floor. Thank you. Even if you don't really think so, thank you still. You're welcome. Well, I gotta go. Look at how things have changed. There we are, living our boring lives. Now it's election day, and my cat here is one of the candidates. Ain't life crazy? What do you think? Does she stand a chance? Vash just shrugs his shoulders. I think so. Yes, I'm sure of it. I think Katya will most likely win. Okay, so I need to speak to Grankin. I need to speak to that. I assume it's her, a woman and her husband. I also need to speak to Jan and the old man in the shack. I believe it's over there. Superintendent Grankin looks around in a hurry, obviously nervous. When he notices you, he snaps his fingers as if he got a sudden idea. Everything is ready for the election, just some minor details. And what do you know, this is exactly why I've come to have a chat with you. Yes, what is it? Maybe I need to prepare a speech or something? Listen, friend, it'd be better for all of us if Katya won. The man thinks your words over for a while. Seems like the tone and self-assurance worked in your favour. Are you sure? Well, I believe Atradna will gain more in case I win. Hey Grankin, how about continuing your work from the shadows? You could always be Katya's wise old mentor. That'll sometimes send the new young leader into needed direction. The superintendent lifts his brow and looks at you as if for the first time. Step away into the shadows but continue controlling the village, Katya. Ho ho, delightfully devilish, Grankin. He rubs his hands together, talking to himself in the third fucking person. He rubs his hands together with an evil grin. Okay, I'll vote for Katya. Let her be the head of the village. A wise decision if ever I've heard one. Alright, let's talk to these other people. Okay. Yeah, you don't seem to be able to say anything. Is it you? Yeah, Karina. Before you stands a tough woman with a large hardened face. Seems like this is the same Karina Ivan Ivanovich talked about. Elections. All candidates make me question why we even have them. What do you know? This is exactly why I came to have a chat with you. Are you not sure whom to support? I'll be voting for Comrade Grankin. He's a wicked little guy, but he's got gumption. He's experienced, alright. Experienced as a thief, a liar, and a hater of old ladies. The hell? Hey, you're an alright kind of old broad. And here I was thinking I should knife you because you vote for that goody two-shoes Katya, but look at you, ready to vote for our boss Grankin without any old threats. Oh, so I can pretend that I'm part of the, yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's do the other one then. The one becomes more serious as you speak. Seems like your words woke up her own doubts at Grankin. Well, it's not news to me, but I always thought if people show respect and gratitude, you forget about his nasty old ways. Do you think otherwise? Sure do. Once a thief, always a thief. The woman shrugs. Well, he sure does enjoy asking for bribes, but I never thought him a thief. Just an average politician, just like in the good old days. But if you think he's a real crook, oh well. Might as well give Katya a fighting chance. If anything goes wrong, you can always back out on the results, right? Yeah. Sure, I think they're going to definitely give you the opportunity to do that. I need to speak to the husband as well, don't I? Old man Simon and Jan don't want to vote. I need to make them do it. But I don't know. Old man Simon's in here, isn't he? Yeah. Old man Simon's scratching his hefty beard. When he sees you, he squints a little and then smiles as wide as toothless grin at you. Oh, Shonny, all those elections make me nauseous. I'm too old for this. Can you tell me why you don't want to vote? What's there to tell? I don't like Grankin, and I pity our little Katya too much. Quite the burden looking out for the whole village. Old man, I can break your neck, you know that, unless you get out there and vote. Wow, that's harsh. Please, old man, everyone needs to vote. The old man sighs and takes off his hat and touches his temple. Seems like your word made this old skeptic think. If it's that important, but I still doubt it, what can my vote change? There are a few people living in Atradna. Every vote counts. Old man Simon puts his hat back on and nods. That's right. Oh, damn it. I'll vote. Never done it before. Sure, might as well try it out. That's the right choice, old man. And that's not Jan. Jan is over here, isn't he? Jan with his doggo. And I don't know about the husband. I don't know whether I need to convince him now. I'm not sure whether his wife will just browbeat him into going with whoever. Jan, the guard, is looking into the horizon. Sometimes he turns to the village, quieted down before the vote. When he sees you, he gives you a nod. What do you have on you? 14 rubles and 3 bullets. Hey there, head of the election? I'll probably pass. Let's talk about you not voting, okay? What's there to talk about? I had the right not to vote, so I won't. Is this how a true labourer thinks, comrade? You betrayed the collective and spit into Lenin's mummified face with your descent into self-imposed non-voter state? The guard lifts his brow in doubt, but it seems your words have somewhat touched him. You're speaking like a Soviet agitator from the pre-war times. Come on, I know that's what the collective wants, but I don't want to mess with the election. Just feels wrong somehow. A doubting man is the worst of the capitalists, comrade. Off to the voting area with you for the glory of the proletariat. Well, at least you said why you don't want to vote. Well, why is the election wrong? Tell me. The guard spits on the ground and clicks his tongue. I don't like that we only have 2 people involved. I like Katya, but she has no experience in politics. I really, really dislike Rankin. He's boring, thieving little man, so both options are kind of redundant. I'll tell you a big secret, buddy. There are no ideal candidates in democracy. Ever. And that is what I agree with. Unfortunately, the way politicians are today, there are no right choices. You're always stuck between a rock and another rock. The girl's actually bright and smart. Should be like a mother to you folks. You sent me to vote for her, is that it? That's how you should have started this conversation, by saying you have personal interest in this gig. Damn my interest. I just think that Katya needs support. If you're too lazy to help, I will. Yeah, spits on the ground. Now you're making me look like some assholes too lazy to help out a sweet little girl. A sweet girl. Fine, fine. I'll do it. I'll vote. Good luck during the election. Gotta open your eyes. Sorry, Ian. I did everything even... Yeah, Ivan Ivanovich. Now it's time for the election. Do I just have to tell him, or...? Ivan Ivanovich looks around curiously and waves at you in a friendly way. How can I help you? Everything's ready. I completed all the tasks. Enough time's been wasted. Alright, now we should start on the most important part. Although, there's a small matter I need settled first. Continue listening in silence. Well, it's hard for me to ask this, but we need at least 30 stacks of paper for all the paperwork, you know, and paper isn't cheap nowadays. Are you serious? Where am I going to get that much paper? The man looks at you very solemnly for a moment and bursts into laughter. His bodyguard pitched him with a crooked smile. Oh my, I should have seen your face. Calm down, we got everything we need already. I'm not a novice, you know. Jesus Christ, I thought it was going to be a fetch quest. I was like, shit, I had a lot of paper, but I can't remember whether I've still got it or I sold it. Yeah, it's quite funny. Have you calmed down yet? The man nods vigorously, still smiling. Fine, jokes aside, we still need to get this show on the road. Ivan Ivanovich slaps his bodyguard on the shoulder and makes his way out. Wait for the voters to arrive. The villagers slowly begin to gather at the building entrance, chatting and whispering amongst themselves. A few of them are jostling for the opportunity to see inside. Ivan Ivanovich's bodyguard even has to scare some of them away with this short wooden club. Ivan Ivanovich, meanwhile, prepares some paper and pencils which he later distributes among the villagers. Even though the village is small, voting takes 2 whole hours, during which some people start political arguments which have nothing to do with the election. A pig barges into the voting area and a fisherman from outside the village is caught trying to vote for himself. Finally, everyone leaves. Ivan Ivanovich looks absently at the stack of papers in his hands. Well, it doesn't take a math wizard to know the result. So who won? Rankin. The man looks at the results again and whispers softly, almost without moving his lips, and finally speaks up. The youth won, by which I mean the charming Katya. Interesting, I never thought this crowd wanted to change so badly. Perhaps the old patriarch's ways weren't to the people's liking after all. That Katya, as I recently found out, is a pretty smart girl, although smarts aren't everything a good politician needs. Without them it would be harder for her to settle into a new role. Good luck to her, I guess. Good luck and quick learning. Huh, fascinating world of a nascent democracy. What now? Now? Nothing. The deed is done and I'm off to Krasno's pneumonia again. It was nice meeting you. Say hi to Dan for me. If one day you find yourself walking past the Chamber of Commerce, don't be shy. Come in and ask for Ivan Ivanovich. We are colleagues now after all. Yes! 7,000 ruble bribe bypassed. I'll be sure to do that. Good luck on your journey, Ivan Ivanovich. The official nods to you, gathers his things, stands for a few moments at the door and finally leaves. A minute later you hear his car starting up outside. Ivan Ivanovich has left the building. And by the building, I mean Ochadno. Speak to Grankin. The superintendent looks around with an unsure look, as if he's deep within his own thoughts, and doesn't really notice the world around him. I should have won. I should have... Oh, it's you. Sorry, I don't have time to chit-chat right now. Let's speak to Katya and Kovalev. As you walk into the tavern, you notice Kovalev, the former head of Otradno, sitting at one of the tables. He takes a drink from time to time and strokes his mustache. Seeing you, he invites you over with a gesture. Care to keep me company? There's so little to do nowadays. Sure thing, I need to rest after my journey. How's life? Need any help around here? Comrade Kovalev thinks something over, then begins to speak in a quiet voice. You know what I miss? My car. A good old Moskvich. My little blue Moskvich. You know, before this, Ivan Ivanovich visited us. I didn't think it was possible to find a drivable car in our world. Kovalev, are you okay? Have you not turned around enough to see mine? But it seems there's room for miracles even in the wastelands. You want me to steal this car for you? I'm just gonna listen. So what I was thinking, maybe you could help me out. You're a capable person. Perhaps you've seen a decent car somewhere in your travels? I'd take a car in any state of disrepair. My hands still remember the tools I used to fix up my old bolt bucket, and the village would surely be glad to have a working car on hand. The old man stares longingly at you, hope naked in his eyes. I saw a car in serviceable condition at Dan's factory. It looks good, but I doubt it's working. What do you think? A spark of hope flashes in Kovalev's eyes. To fight back his worries, he downs his entire drink. This is great news. Now you just have to get it here, and I will use my skills to fix it. We'll get it fixed, give her a fresh coat of paint. Such a shame there are few drivable roads now, but still. How will I get it here? It's lacking wheels. I doubt you had the power to push it all away. You can ask the caravan people. They have their own cars, and it's easy to meet them in the waste. The goods won't come cheap, but you can always haggle. Good idea, comrade. I'll go see if I can find a truck caravan. And oh, she's gonna be in the village centre, isn't she? What am I doing? Katya sure has changed. Katya is completely immersed in her paperwork. She gazes up slowly and nods to you, though she seems unsure what's going on. Hey, here. She shows you the documents with a powerless smile. Working and working all day long. And I came to congratulate you on your victory. Thank you very much. The words make the girl blush a bit, and she again lowers her gaze to the scattered pile of papers. Could you possibly lend me some money from village funds? Jesus. Can we talk about the village rumors and stuff like that? About the village, eh? Fine. It'd be a good opportunity to check my knowledge. As a leader, I should know about every nook and cranny of this place. Is it hard to be a boss in these parts? Katya sighs. It's not easy for sure. I'm always second guessing myself. Mostly I fear when I finally make a mistake I won't recognise it, and that's why I'm rereading every paper I have here before I put them away. Yeah, it does sound difficult. And what can you say about Otradno now that you're the boss? I'd say it looks calm, but that's only surface deep. You can't imagine how much is going on here, really. Old people always double check whether I book the type of funeral they want. Karina's asking me about the infrastructure, possibly without knowing the meaning of the word. That woman sure likes to test her leader. Hang in there. And what's the hardest thing about leadership? The hardest? Katya chuckles. Understanding Dad's handwriting. Comrade Mickey answers better, and he's a medic. So the old trope still rides. And heard any interesting rumours? The old folks always tell me if a man who visits our village from time to time accompanied by his pet pig. That sounds a little odd, but they're actually scared of him. They say he tells them things that made them fear the night. They asked me to get Jan to chase him away, but I doubt such measures are needed. I see. Fear the night. Let's change the subject. Alright. Oh, I forgot to ask. Yeah, listen, maybe we can talk somewhere private, drink some tea, shoot the shit, you know? Katya looks sad. The girl looks like she's trying to remember catching your phrase she learned. I hear you, but I'm afraid there's some night sitting alone with my notebook and the tavern are gone, and they're not coming back. Maybe they'll make a comeback for me? Success. The two feelings struggling catch his eyes. The deck shows the people of the village an attraction towards you. She finally lowers her gaze with a shy smile. I would like that, really I would, but let me tell you when I'm ready, okay? If it's still around, that is. Goodbye. That's really funny. Wait, who's this guy? You see a young man with a moustache who's wearing a headpiece. He's fixing a village TV. The man is wrapped up in his work and is paying no attention to you, although just when you're about to address him, he jumps as if you were electrocuted and quickly turns to you. Oh, I wish you wouldn't sneak up on people like that. What's the matter? How's your work going? No idea. Everything seems to be working, or maybe not. A TV, I've got to say, is too fragile for our land. A radio would have been a better choice, but no, they want to see the picture. It produces a better effect. Damn show-offs. Who are they? Well, our dear fathers at the Chamber of Commerce. They're the bosses of Krasnoye. They just decided that the best way to demonstrate their power in the wasteland is to show propaganda on TV all day and night. Do many people fall for it? Much more than you'd think. Think about it, it's TV. Pictures move on their own. It's been very long since last people saw it, and some of them have never seen it at all. The kids even think it's magic. When an important looking broadcaster from us tells them something, it's easy to fall for it. Does make sense. Can I ask you some questions? The man straightens his back with a crunch, wipes sweat off his forehead and nods to you amicably. You should probably get that sorted if it's crunching. Go ahead, I could use a break. What do you do if you don't mind me asking? I don't mind at all. I visit farms and villages, make sure all the TVs are working properly. It's no easy job, I got to tell you. They break all the time. Or the local techies can seldom deal with them. What do you do? That's life. And who do you work for? Krasnoye Chamber of Commerce? Well, I don't know them personally, of course. I've never spoken to the Secretary General, but technically they're my senior management. I get the compensation for my labour in Krasnoye as well. Aren't you scared of travelling alone like that? I'm used to it. They gave me a gun so I can protect myself if need be. If I get caught, meanwhile, these are my these are my fast feet that save me, so I'm running everywhere like that. I see. How can there's a TV in the village? When Krasnoye several years ago, local men found a warehouse somewhere full of pre-war TVs, so they had an idea to restore a TV tower on the Hare Island. They paid loads of money, found some TV specialists, trained new ones, including myself, and so it happened. We're rebuilding things best we can. However, no one yet came up with an idea to produce their own TVs. We live on old stock. Finding spare parts can be tricky, and if the screen gets broken, you can pretty much just ditch the whole TV after you disassembled it for spare parts, of course. But we're doing fine so far. What do you think about the village? Believe it or not, this is one of the biggest settlements north of Krasnoye. The area is dangerous, of course, but so is everywhere else nowadays. Otherwise, it's a lovely place. The locals are nice, hardworking. I wish other people could be like them. Then we'd rebuild everything in less than no time. And Krasnoye? It's a great town. It had everything. Pubs and shops. There's a hospital there and a bookstore. They even had their own house of ice. Brothel, as they call it. How do the town's authorities look at this moral decay? I turn a blind eye to it. Krasnoye is such a place where you can't make a step without bribing someone. The corruption now is even worse than it used to be before the war. But that's for the best. If they followed their own rules, the world would soon turn into a real prison. Okay, any rumours? There are 2 seas to the east of here. They say one of the seas has dried out. There's only a stinking, toxic swamp left in the middle where the water used to be. There's just quicksand and sandstorms. I don't remember what that sea's called or was called. Something beginning with A. Sea of Azov, I'm fairly sure that's the landlocked one to the east of the Black Sea, isn't it? Actually, its shallowing started even before the war, but after the bombs fell, it had no chances. The climate on the whole has changed drastically, and not in a good way. People in the know say that nature's preparing a gift for us for the war. That's not a good thing. And with this game, I can actually believe it with the spooky shit that seems to be going on.